These lyrics of this song just get me because there's a daily confessional element to this lyric that I got to say, in recent days, I haven't been able to live much without. Lord, I need you. Our country needs you. We need you, God, in a way that we've never depended upon you before. And really, you're the only answer. The answer's not going to come from elected politics. It's not going to come from, each party will let us down. They have let us down this year in multiple ways. One of the things I do want to just make mention of is over on Facebook, on the AFA Today Facebook page, I uploaded, and this is really more symbolic than anything, but I uploaded some really beautiful photos that I was able to take just a couple of years ago at the World War II Memorial Exhibit. And I thought, if there's some World War II veterans that haven't gotten to see it and would like to, and in maybe a firsthand kind of way, these were some firsthand photos that I took of the memorial in the evening as the sun was going down and the lights were coming on, and I think really captured some of the essence of the memorial in a very stunning way, very visual when captured in photographs. And I also got a close-up of some of the engraved stones that are at the World War II Memorial that if you want to take a look at and read the inscriptions of, it's not letting you get exactly in the memorial, but it's as close as I could offer to try to help. And so if you know a World War II vet that you think might be blessed by this, go to afatoday.com. That's the Facebook page for AFA Today, afatoday.com. And share that collection of pictures. It's just 5 or 6 pictures, but they came out really nice, and I hope that there will be some vets that are encouraged by that. Just trying to pay honor and make restitution for the way our country is so foully treating them. It really hurts. I'm glad that both of my grandfathers have already gone on to be with Jesus and aren't here to see this. I think it would hurt them tremendously to see what our nation is doing to them. Both of my grandfathers serving in the Navy in the big war. And I don't know. It just hurts. It hurts in a lot of ways. 888-589-8840. The government is into its 4th day of the shutdown. We have not seen any movement on either side. There have been some things put forward by the Republicans offering to fund the parks and some of the military services and some of the other things that have been shut down. They're not being received by the Senate at all. The House has offered to fund them. The Senate is rejecting them. They're not even looking at them because they want 100% compliance with the president's view, or they're not gonna play along. And that's not how the other side is playing. They're saying we can discuss these things, we can have compromise on these things, but at least fund these portions of the government so that some of this silliness stops. And I've never seen. This is why, because you may be saying, Kev, this is like the 3rd day you've been on this. Yes, but here's why. I've never seen our government lower its sights on the innocent people of the United States and destroy them in its effort to win their political partisan view. And that's what this White House has stooped to. They are willing to make the American people the target of their pain. They tell the National Park Service rangers, make it as uncomfortable as possible, thinking that the other party will be the one inheriting the sole blame for everything. And I don't believe that that's how the American people are seeing it. I honestly don't. I live in a very liberal section of the country. People here aren't viewing it that way. So I can only imagine in some of the more conservative areas of the country, they're not viewing it that way either. But you know what this sends the message to? This is why this is bad optically. Forget the moral question and forget the practicality question of everything. This is why it looks bad for the White House. Here's this young president who has had pretty much everything handed to him on a silver platter most of his life. I mean, by comparison to what a lot of other people in his position have ended up going through, he's really done quite well. And here he's being irrational. He's being mean. He's being he's carrying out a vendetta. He's being vengeful. not against his political opponents. You expect that. You expect him to be angry with the Republicans. He's being vengeful with innocent people that are bystanders to this. And why is it World War II? Again, this is just a weird element of this story. But why are you closing down the World War II memorial, but not the Vietnam or the World War I or other memorials that are there? Yeah, and oh, by the way, they picked the Mount Vernon memorial to close down, and they don't even have the right to do that. The parking lot for Mount Vernon is on private property. Unless you believe that because you're president, that makes you a dictator and you get to do whatever you want to do. That is the other option. If you think that way about yourself, then that might explain why you're trying to shut down private businesses and private property that you don't have any right to at all. See, there's not a willingness by this administration to stay within the boundaries of its own required constitutional boundaries. Friends, this is a problem. I'm not trying to be mean or unfair. This is unlawful, what the administration is doing. What do you say about it? 888-589-8840. Let's talk to Donald in Texas. Hello, Donald. Welcome. You're on AFA Today.
Hi, Mr. McCullough. Thank you, and thank you for your service to our country and our Lord God.
You're very kind. What's on your heart?
One thing, it seems to me that President Obama doesn't see us as citizens. He sees us as subjects. And you had asked the question earlier on in the program about why World War II.
Why World War II? Yeah.
But he sent Winston Churchill's bus back to Great Britain when he first got into office.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he have such a hatred for Winston Churchill?
There is something very bizarre about this president and the and his relationship to the history that was made in World War II. I can't fully explain it, but what is it? Why the World War II memorial? Why the World War II veterans? Why Winston Churchill bust? Why those things? Why those things? Is it because he felt the use of American power in that era was unlawful? Does he believe that America should not have responded to the attacks of Pearl Harbor, or that we shouldn't have helped stop Nazi Germany, or that by liberating the people that had been taken captive by the Emperor of Japan and Mr. Hitler in Europe, that by liberating those peoples that we in some way exercised bad faith or bad power? America is the only major military power in the history of the world that has exclusively used our power to liberate and not to conquer. Are you aware of that? We do not go into countries and say, okay, now you belong to us. We never have. The use of the United States military has always been to set people free, to liberate them from oppressive powers, but not to conquer their land and to take their women and goods and children for ourselves. That's not how we've done that. And that's how a lot of the other, overarching long-term dominant societies have. The Greeks and the Romans and so forth, they always did that. They always went and enslaved people and said, you now are part of our kingdom. I just think it's an interesting thing to point out that this president's greatest amount of animus seems to be focused at one of our finest moments of our nation's history, the liberation of World War II, the successful conclusion of World War II. 888-589-8840. Any theories as to why that is the case? Let's talk to Kelly in Oregon. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. You're on with Kevin McCullough on AFA Today.
Hi, Kevin. I thought that the memorial was all funded privately with private donations, and I thought I heard you say that it was built by tax dollars. But I'm glad that Obama's showing his true colors And this is the wrong group for him to pick a fight with. This is some of the toughest people in this country. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, it is. When you sit and you think about the well, as like Governor Huckabee said at the top of the show, just it's not just disrespect. It's like this shows or disregard. This is disrespect. This is I am purposefully insulting you. It's not by accident. It's not by happenstance or just a side product. No, this is the I'm definitely spitting in your eye. That's the tone of what is happening here. 888-589-8840. Thomas in Mississippi. Hi, Thomas. You're on with Kevin McCullough. Glad you're here.
Yes, my father was a decorated World War II hero, and I'm very offended at what Obama's doing. But my question is, what's going to have to happen for him to be gotten rid of? What's going to have to happen for him to be put out of the way?
Well, what we have to hope and trust is that he doesn't try to amend the Constitution between now and the end of his second term to seek election for a third term. I don't think he would. I don't think he would be able to do that because at least half the country would not go for that. But I think that's the only way that he will avoid going out of power in a couple of years. But that still leaves an awfully long time for him to continue to sort of express himself to the American people in the way that he is at present.
Yeah, well, down here in Mississippi, the way we get rid of a snake is cut its head off. And it looks like to me that something's going to happen for him to be moved out of the way. And I'm not sure, it's pretty sure that the process that can be done will be done as far as him being impeached, because everybody up there seems to be afraid of him.
Yeah, I don't know what the grounds. I'm not a constitutional attorney. I don't pretend to understand the very intrinsic law of impeachment. I know that when it was tried against William Jefferson Clinton with only one house in the opposing hands, it did not go well because you got a conviction in the House, but then you got a mockery in the Senate, and it ended up being, I think, something that actually worked to President Clinton's long-term benefit. And I don't think that anybody's interested in pursuing impeachment if that's the outcome here. I think the problems are much bigger here than they were with the impeachment in Clinton's situation. I think that on Benghazi, you have abject neglect. We still don't know where he was that night. He's never answered the question of how he disappeared for those number of hours. And when you just compare that against what's going on right now, I think there's people going, wait a second here. Is this an abdication of duty? What's going on? 888-589-8840. Let's talk to Brian in Louisiana, one of the states that I think nobody has signed up for Obamacare through yet. Hi, Brian. Welcome. You're on AFA Today with Kevin McCullough. Glad you're here.
Hey, Kevin. Listen to your show all the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm not going to be one of those people who sign up for it either here in Louisiana. As far as the World War, try this on for size and see what you think about the World War II vets. The World War II vets, my father was a World War II vet as well in the Navy. But they are the epitome of American exceptionalism, especially during that time. So if anyone has ever, and I'm just going to put a cheap plug in for 2016 Obama's America, he doesn't believe in American exceptionalism, and he's got to get rid of the exceptionalism that everybody else thinks of in order to put his spin on American history. So,
Brian, we're getting a lot of wind on your telephone. I do agree with you, and I will actually repeat your plug. 2016 Obama's America was an eye-opening film, and it really did explain a lot. If you understand that Obama looks at the world as an anti-colonialist, you begin to understand some more of his thinking. But even at that, you didn't see anything in 2016 that would indicate that he had some sort of animus towards people that served in World War II. Now, you could probably extrapolate that from some of the theories that he's kind of held, but you didn't see anything directly in the film that indicated that. But this is spitting in the face of the people that kept us free at maybe the greatest crisis point in the modern era of history. And they can't see the memorial that their sacrifice and that the blood of their colleagues secured our freedom with. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. Let's talk to Joe in Texas. Hi, Joe. Welcome. You're on AFA Today with Kevin McCullough.
Hey, how's it going? Well, just
Good.
before you even begin, I'll let you know that my family has over 80 years of military service combined that I personally know of. One of the things I will tell you, and this came up in the first election with Obama, was the fact that there are certain religions that don't believe that the Jewish Holocaust ever happened. And to suppress that idea or to encourage everybody, hey, that didn't really happen. I mean, I don't know if that's his views on that it didn't happen, that it was all
I will say, Joe, I have never seen 1 ounce of anything related to not believing in the Holocaust or anything like that ever come from President Obama. And I would be quick to say that if he's never said anything like that, we shouldn't be the one that puts that assertion in his lips. I don't think that is his position. At least if it is, he has never revealed it. So I don't want to go down that road. But Joe, I appreciate your family service and thank you for all that they have done to keep us free. And please extend to them our thanks. I'm Kevin McCullough. We'll see you Monday.